Welcome back to the Healthy Orange Movie Reviews. I'm Bennett Campbell Ferguson. I'm here with Mo Shawnette and Maxwell Myers.
Hey.
And we are talking about Batman versus Superman. So, let's start with the big news. Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. What do we think?
I don't know. Well, there's no speculation, of course, because we haven't seen one frame of this movie. We haven't seen any marketing or nothing beyond press announcements. But this could be good, honestly.
Color me meh. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Jesse Eisenberg as an actor for the most part. Sometimes I see him and I go, wow, Michael Cera could have done this role too. Not in a bad way. I think he's actually probably better than Michael Cera, but he's kind of a weirdo. Am I wrong?
He is. One thing that strikes me about him is he typically plays the sort of good guy, like in the Squid and the Whale and that movie with Kristen Stewart, Adventureland.
Oh yeah.
But there's always kind of a great movie, and there's always kind of a weird kind of passive aggressive menace to him, which could make him surprisingly good as Lex. I mean it's a shot
could translate well. If you look at his most famous roles, obviously Mark Zuckerberg in the Social Network.
Yes.
There's excuse me, I'm a little bit sick right now. There's a lot of Lex Luthor in that character. There's this guy who is not only really smart, but thinks that his intelligence gives him license to condescend to people. Basically, there's that scene where the lawyer's talking to him and he says, "Do I have your full attention?" And he gives this little speech and he closes it with saying, "You have the least of my attention. You have the minimal amount." That's really Lex Luthor right there.
That menace you're talking about, I hear it in all the roles that you're talking about, including the blue macaw in Rio. Yes, that is him.
So
the sequel coming out soon.
Anyone besides me remembers Rio.
So Jesse Eisenberg goes from playing the blue macaw to playing Lex Luthor. Zack Snyder goes from directing Legend of the Guardians to the Owls of Ga'Hoole directing Superman. I'm sensing a theme here.
I never noticed that jump. You're right. Whatever works.
I don't think Henry Cavill was ever a bird in a cartoon, but
I don't think so. Yeah. Maybe he doesn't have the range. But
when this video posts, I really hope someone finds a link of Henry Cavill, the bird.
Yes. Someone
I don't
should
care if it's Photoshop.
One.
Just make it happen.
But I'm actually a fan of Jesse Eisenberg. I think he's a good actor, and he could bring something different, something that we haven't seen before from Lex Luthor. Because so far, Lex Luthor, the main people to play him are two. Gene Hackman in the old Superman movies, it was kind of campy. He was a, well, for lack of a better term, a comic character. He was funny. And the other is voice actor Clancy Brown in all of the DC animated stuff. Superman, the animated series, and Justice League.
I like his voice.
He was really good. He owns that character completely. And it was this very deep, very methodical voice. And now we've got Jesse Eisenberg, who's younger than Superman, which I don't know if we've ever had.
I don't think so.
Lex Luthor who's that significantly younger than Superman. And he can, at least we know from the Social Network, he can talk fast and he can be this quick-witted sort of guy. And that could be Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
I would be interested in seeing what that looks like.
And it's an interesting thing, like what you said about the age thing. At first it seems weird because, like you said, we haven't seen it before. But then typically in superhero films, the villain is kind of the bad father figure. So, that sort of switches it up with the kind of, young, evil genius going up against, in a way, a godlike figure.
I think Zack Snyder, he changed, I don't want to say changed things up in the Superman realm, but he definitely took some different turns that a lot of people weren't happy with, and I don't know, I think it could work out. I think Jesse Eisenberg is a fantastic actor, all jokes aside, and he was wonderful in the Social Network, and he does put a lot of work into his craft. He was in a play where he had to play a swimmer, and he actually didn't know how to swim. This was only 3 years ago, I think, and he actually took swim lessons, and he now makes it his daily routine. And I think he swam in the Olympics this last year. So
That's really cool.
he has the strength as a person to just really throw himself into something, and I think he'll definitely bring something. And he obviously brought something enough that Zack Snyder said, "I like that," because he got the job.